Latecia Wiles. I'm the current probate and juvenile court judge. As a candidate on this year's ballot, I bring experience from both sides of the bench. I began serving in April when I was appointed by Governor Kasich. And prior to that, I was a prosecutor. I am the Republican nominee on the ballot, and I have spent my entire career in this court. This court is where my passion is. I come from a large, close-knit family. Take care of my grandmother in the evenings, and protecting the children and elderly of the county is really where my passion is. I was born and raised on a hog farm here in Wayne County, and many of you know my ties here in Rittman. My grandmother taught 3rd grade here for many years. My grandpa was principal here for many years. My parents instilled in us a pretty strong work ethic at an early age, and I attended the College of Worcester, worked to put myself through the College of Worcester, which was no small feat. And I decided at that point that the court was where I wanted to be. I got a job working in the clerk of court's office. I worked under Pauline Myers there till I moved to the adult probation department. After that, I worked at local law firms in Worcester. I worked for Everhart and Bidenday, and then later for William Onfon. I worked there through college and law school, and graduated with my law degree from the University of Akron. Took the bar exam, passed the bar exam, and then began working for Martin France in the county prosecutor's office. I started off there prosecuting child abuse and neglect cases. During my time there, I prosecuted over 400 child abuse and neglect cases. I also began handling appellate work for the county at that time. Handling matters in front of the higher courts of appeals that now, as a trial court judge, I answer to. I, at that time, also in the prosecutor's office, had the opportunity to work as legal counsel for the various county entities. So I represented the commissioners, the auditor, the treasurer, Children's Services, Department of Job and Family Services, many of the agencies and officials that interact and come before the court now. When Martin France retired, I was appointed as the interim prosecuting attorney for the county for a time. And then when Dan Lutz came, I was the supervisor of the civil and appellate divisions until I was appointed in April. And thank you for your time today. And
there's 3 issues on the ballot that are important to the children of Wayne County, and I want to speak to all 3 of them. First of all, the library is extremely important. As a judicial candidate, I am allowed to advocate for nonpartisan causes. I was co-chair of the library levy committee the last time when I was on the board, and it is extremely important to children. And I know Rittman is one of the most heavily used branches of the library, so we're not talking about people in Worcester or Shreve or whatever, we're talking about your own children. So please support that levy. Secondly, Wayne County is one of the few counties that has a levy supporting children's services instead of it coming out of the general fund. It is extremely important that funds are available to service children who have to be in foster care or need treatment. So please vote for the levy for children's services. 2-minute warning. Okay. I worked in the court system. I started as I also worked my way through the College of Worcester. I was appointed probation officer by Judge Adrian Miller when I was a junior in college. By the time I graduated, I had 2 jobs. Judge Kinsbotter had asked me to come to juvenile court, and I was also a teacher. So I taught at Triley during the day and was a juvenile probation officer. Then for the next 3 years, I taught at Smithville during the day and was a probation officer for Judge Kinsbotter. In 1972, he asked me to come full-time, so I gave up teaching. In 1974, due to the number of cases that we had in the court at that time, he asked me to find an attorney to become referee, or what's called a magistrate today. I couldn't find an attorney who wanted a part-time job that would also keep them out of probate court. So So Judge Kinsbody said, well, you're going to be the new referee and you're going to law school. I said, Judge, do you know how old I'd be when I get out of law school? He said, yeah, the same age you'll be if you don't go, but you'll be a lawyer then too. He was a very practical man. So he mentored me. I started out here in traffic cases where there wasn't much issue about the law, just talking to people. Then I got into misdemeanor cases, and after I'd taken evidence or whatever, I started hearing more serious cases. And eventually, by the time he retired, I was hearing all the delinquency cases. I then worked for Judge Lehman, and when he retired, I ran for and was elected judge in 1990 and again in 96. As most people have heard, I did retire because I had heart problems. That's been taken care of. I'm fully recovered. Why am I running again? I was asked to. This is an odd situation. Remember, the judiciary is a third part of government.